Okay, my name's Rachel Hurst. Just a little bit of background information about me. I'm a PE teacher. I'm a head of girls PE at school in Oldham. I'm an England Rounders player currently, and I'm an ex-England Rounders coach. I'm just going to really just go over why we started the Star Centre and the changes that we've made and the journey that we've come on really to get where we are today. Okay, so there's another head coach who's not with us today, unfortunately, but there's myself and Kelly Hutchins who established the Star Centre 2005, and originally we did that there was no provision in Oldham at all for rounders. Both being secondary PE teachers, we decided we wanted to set up something for secondary girls. It's our specialisms. We're both England Rounders players, we're both England Rounders coaches at the time, so we just wanted to make sure there was something available. We originally set it up, as you can see, it's called the Oldham Star Centre, which don't really exist anymore. That was the NRA. At the time when we set it up in 2005, they were called Star Centres, and really they were player pathways for anyone wanting to take part at England level. That was the route that they came through, and they came to us if they wanted to be selected for trials to go through to the England structure. When we first did it, there was at that time about 13 schools in the borough. There's not that many now due to changes with academies and things like that. We initially decided to invite the top 5 girls only. This is the first thing we did. We sent a pack out to all PE staff. They chose their top 5 girls in the school to attend the Star Centre. So it was really high performance. It was, you know, the best girls that were out there. We started it up really from nothing. You know, you're really looking now with the England Rounders, the Rounders England structure, that you've got the funding available. We really had to fight for money at the time. And we had the North West Counties Rounders Association. They provide us with an Awards for All grant, which helped us train coaches, CRBs, first aid, get us all the equipment we needed, help us pay for the venue, that sort of thing. Originally, we set it up on a Saturday morning, 2.5 hours, and we did charge the kids for coming £2 just to help us replace equipment. We didn't take any money from it. It's purely voluntary, but it helped us to replace equipment, as I said, pay for the venue, trial money and that sort of thing, NRA fees, that sort of thing. We started off, we were having about 20 girls weekly. Out of those, there were a handful selected for England. We got them to a standard where they could go through to England trials. And it was quite successful. We had 8 girls representing England Rounders after the first season. And there they are. They're only about 12 on that picture, year 7, 8, I think they are, under 13s girls they were. Over time, we started seeing a drop-off rate. We were losing girls to other sports. So say, you know, they were playing for Oldham netball, for example, we'd find that because there was nothing there for them, they'd drop off and we started to lose girls. So eventually we made it that the secondary school could send more than 5 girls. So it was still high performance, it was still looking at the more able pupils, but it were inviting more than that. And we probably raised that number to about 40 after a couple of seasons. We managed to get 2 teams out of that, which represented the Oldham Star Centre in the Saddleworth Junior League. They were really successful teams, and you know, they are, as you can see, they're winners in those seasons. Unfortunately, after that 2010 season, the league actually folded because the girls sort of either dropped off or they moved into the next age bracket. So really that junior league dropped off, which again was leaving nothing there for them. By the end of last season, one of our, you know, we're really proud of the fact that we've had 13 girls representing England across different age groups. Some of them still playing now. We've also had 2 more just recently selected, so we've still got, you know, good reputation for that high performance end and getting girls through to represent England. Just a few examples of some of them. Okay, so they started off really young with us, year 7 and 8, but they're now under 18s, under 19s. Okay. We started to find that things weren't working after a few years. People were dropping off, we weren't getting the numbers that we previously had, the venue wasn't right. One of the things we did do, we changed the venue and the time from Saturday morning, because as I said before, if girls were participating for netball or for football, we were losing them really quickly because their coaches, you're not playing rounders. If you want to represent Oldham netball, you're at your Oldham netball training session. So we did lose girls, and that was due to the fact that there was nothing there for them either after the Saturday morning. We found that PE staff weren't promoting it as effectively as we thought that they would. We thought that they would do our job for us and they'd get the girls there, and we found that weren't working. There were some of them, the stronger schools in the borough who had good rounders teams, were sending the girls because they wanted, obviously, them to, to have good girls for their teams, but some just weren't bothering with it. We weren't getting as many as we wanted to. We're both in full-time jobs. We didn't have any time to promote it ourselves. We couldn't go into schools as would be ideal to scout people or to get our name out there, to get leaflets in there or whatever. We just couldn't do that. We also found that we were putting a massive block on girls who were perhaps really interested in rounders, but obviously they weren't at that high performance end, and that was something that we quickly had to change. So we had to start thinking, right, how do we cater for all? So not just the girls that are England rounders players, we had to cater for everyone. And also we started to find that we weren't getting, as I said, enough secondary pupils through, so we had to think of another strategy, a way of getting around that. Right, so changes that we made then. When we originally started, the venue was in a nicer part of Oldham, if I can say that. And what we found is that the parents coming from those schools in that area were supporting them no matter what. They were bringing them every morning, they were taking them to the games or whatever it were. The pupils from the deprived areas didn't have that same support and the same opportunities, so we had to move that really so we could cater for them as well. So we moved the venue to, as I say, one of the more deprived areas in Oldham, so we could hit those children as well. We also moved it to after school, 4 till 6, so we weren't taking any of their other sports away from them. We were also giving them the opportunity to just finish school and get across to us. We allowed secondary schools to start sending unlimited pupils, so whether they were the best pupils or not, just whoever wanted to be there and wanted to be involved. We changed the provision to include development pupils as well as the high performance. So as I said, there's myself and Kelly, so we could really focus on the development pathway and the high performance pathway. We increased the intake age from school years 3 to 11, and we included boys and girls in that, and that has actually been really successful. We get quite a lot of participation through primary as well, so we're hitting them a bit younger now, so that's been really successful. We also started to promote it a bit more effectively, so we used partnership development managers, we used SSEOs, we used the sports development to try and get our message out there, and more recently we've used Donna to get to her contacts, so we have started to promote it a little bit better. Right, so where we're at today, we're not perfect, we're still growing, we still need to grow, but we have come a long way, and we have now got an open age team representing the Star Centre in the Saddleworth League, which is a well-established league just outside of Oldham. It's a really strong league, so we've got a team in there now, so they've continued through the club links. We've still got representation at England level. We've got approximately about 50 girls participating on a weekly basis now across different ability levels and different age groups. That includes our open age group as well, but we have got girls there on a weekly basis. We also last year for the first time set up some camps at Easter and summer. We promoted them again through the schools, through other channels. We had about 25 there. We charge a little bit more for that in order to provide t-shirts, medals, little prizes, but that was based on fun. We just went to have fun and just to really get involved in the sport. So where we see ourselves going, again, we're moving our venue again this year. We're moving up to Saddleworth to get in line with the league up there. There's quite a big community up there in the Saddleworth Olympics, and there's lots of children there that we can target. So as I said, the parents that are supportive will still bring them, and we recognise that. So we're going to move our venue and hope that our participation levels will increase further again this season. We're also on the back of our Star Centre, primary and secondary pupils. We're also now hitting this RSLA of our 14 plus. We're opening a session for an hour a week up to mums and daughters. So we're trying to get just that ladies participation going as well, that back to rounders going up there as well. We've got funding this year from Rounders England to provide extra coaches. We need some volunteers at the club because obviously as we continue to grow and we continue to get pupils through, we need some more volunteers, so we've got some more funding towards that. We've now got sports development officer involved, he's going to actively promote that in Saddleworth and make sure he's targeting the primary schools there. So we've got some other means of promoting the Star Centre as opposed to us trying to do it all ourselves. One of the things we really want to do is re-establish the Junior League. So whether that is ourselves doing it or that's working with PLTs and getting the teachers to facilitate that league, we really want to get that going again so there's a route for the juniors as well, because as I said, we're doing primaries, there's nothing else for them after this, so that's one of the things that we're really focusing on and trying to get some leagues set up for them. Okay, I think that's everything for me. Is there any questions?